starting here, then you moving up that way, you know what I mean? This is where it started from, right here, Nova Lutheran.
There's been a lot of gentrification over the past 10 years, which, depending on who you ask, is a really good thing or a really bad thing. And I think that the developers of this building were really trying to focus on how can this be a good thing.
We can actually try Schiller right here because
and it's walled in. It's pretty interesting. Yes. And they don't like K Kappa kids being there. There was a problem.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't want you guys there.
Yeah, if you
and that's like
we have the K Kappa Facebook page. If you look on it, they write reviews and stuff. Like the people that live there wrote reviews saying that they don't like us there and everything.
So I mean, that's an example. That's a perfect example of exclusionary development, right? Here are these kids that are from the neighborhood, but they don't want them there because X, Y, Z.
Awesome. I don't understand how can they not like it if they're so close together. It's like not like it. It's not like me. How can't you not like your neighbor? Eventually, it's gonna go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I used to work on a food truck that parked out on Frankfurt and Girard. I worked for them part-time, right in that corner, right across from Johnny Brenda's. And they used to flip houses in the area, and we'd finish up work at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's a maybe 7-minute walk to my front door, and they wouldn't let me walk. So they were like, you know what this is? I was like, dude, this is a completely different place than what it was 15 years ago. I don't know what it was like, but they still insist upon driving me to my front door essentially, because they still have in their heads, this is not the best part of town 15 years ago.
There's still some remnants of that racism, okay? And even though you can walk down Fishtown now, you couldn't do that 25 years ago. What? There would be more backlash. The reason why this neighborhood is important is because of the L.
Yes.
Okay? This neighborhood is going to be more valuable than what it's worth, just in the fact that you can get one walking distance to the L and go downtown.
A couple blocks from here, so this is great. Oh yeah, I mean, going from an hour and 20-minute commute to being able to just step in here and walk 5 minutes to work, which is awesome. That's big for me. But
with the development near your base, has there anything affected?
Oh yeah, the taxes sky high.
Taxes?
Yes,
What do you mean?
real estate taxes.
Remember Front Street used to sell fruit, and then you got the pizzeria next door. You had 5 and 10. You had little stores. You walk down Front Street now, and remember what it used to be in the 80s. You used to not be able to walk through Front Street because there will be another line coming. Okay, you go left. I mean, you couldn't just go left. You had to wait for a gap for people to walk through. Okay, back in the day, or Front Street, Front and Dolphin. Okay, the shopping mall. But that has all gone.
That to me is one of the Lola Bean going out. It's the first real and maybe just in my eyes negative thing. I haven't seen quite as much in terms of places going out. I've seen a lot coming in, and most of it, to my eye, seems to be independent, seems to be self-starting. And that's all encouraging to me. I think that's what gives a neighborhood or a community character. Just if Lock Home was a Starbucks, I'd be up in arms. You know what I mean? It's why? You don't belong on the street.
We then asked, who does it benefit?
Most of the nonprofits in this building are education-based. I believe Teach for America either has or is about to have headquarters in this building. So it's the fact that there's already a lot of community work that's happening sort of around us, and a lot of the building seems to be focusing on how can we, repurpose an area, repurpose a building, and have a positive impact, and not just knock down some apartment buildings, put some new ones in, and make it so that only middle class suburban white folk.
There's a lot of new people moving in the area, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of new workers living in the area.
Do you see like different sets of customers?
I see a lot of new customers moving in the area, a lot of students on campus.
With everything that's happened with Northern Liberties and all that, that's awesome. I think there's a lot of cool things happening. I would argue that Fishtown is like where all the cool stuff in Philadelphia is happening. There's a great music scene. There's a hell of a bar scene. You know, there's a lot of great coffee in this area. But it's, you know, we don't want that to just be like replacing the neighborhood. We want it to be integrated with the neighborhood.
His response raised another question. Do you think that change is possible without pushing other people?
I guess the hope is that there's a way, and I'm definitely not someone who has a handle on all the different moving parts and be like, well, this is our, you know what I mean? But I think that it kind of has to be possible. I think that's the beautiful thing about a city is the fact that you have this, you know, this is not a new phrase, but it's a melting pot. You've got all these different communities, cultures, age groups, all in this one area, and I think that having a space like this that isn't just one thing, you know, this is the fact that they're trying to make it so that so that educators in the community have a nice place to live that is within the community, and so it's not just like you're commuting in for something, it's like I'm right next door, you know, I could have some of my students right down the block if I was a teacher or something like that. I think that that's important for them to be in the area, because that opens their eyes to what's really going on. It's just kind of like, is it transforming a neighborhood or is it replacing? And that I think is the big thing. It's like if you're able to bring businesses in or revitalize certain areas, like Northern Liberties, that just kind of like nothing's really happening there. And they just sort of like, we're gonna put this here, we're gonna bring a lot of really cool independent stuff, restaurants in, we've got all these, you know, art galleries and everything in there, and that's awesome. It's for me, it's like kind of when you start just like all these. I mean, there's like 3 on every single block around here where they're like they bought an apartment building, they knocked it down, they rebuilt it, and then that's not going to be affordable for anybody who normally would live in that neighborhood. It's just going to, to my eye, a lot of the other development that I've seen. I mean, you just take a walk around the block. There's like 18 rental chain link fence around this apartment complex, around that. And they're all being revamped, and I feel like those are the places that are about bringing new people in as opposed to creating a better space for what already is.